Previously on Lego Batman.
I can't wait for the new Batman game coming out this fall. Arkham City. Ugh.
And now, the wait is finally over.
The darkest days is just before the dawn, and the dawn has finally come. The dawn that brought me this game. This awesome Batman game, which I shall review now and show justice. But in order to play an awesome Batman game, we have to suit up and be prepared for what's coming. Let's show this Batman game just how much justice it deserves. Is it a great game? Bet your ass it is. Obviously, I've been longly anticipating this game, as you could tell in my last review, Lego Batman. And man, thank God it delivers. This game not only reminded me that I love Batman games so much, but why I love Batman games. I can honestly say I was purely excited to finally pick this one up. I mean, you can imagine the anticipation that I was holding with this game. And the first thing I have to compliment on the startup screen is the music, I kid you not, is fantastic. It sort of reminds me of watching the Christopher Nolan movies, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. And as soon as you're seeing the first cutscene, you'll notice you're not playing as Batman. You'll notice you're actually playing as Catwoman in the very first scene. Well, yes, apparently Catwoman is available as a downloadable content character with her own side missions and such. You can even replay them too. And there are more yet to come. Nightwing and of course Robin. Yeah, of course you see him in the game, but thank God you don't have to actually play as him like in Lego Batman. If you pre-ordered and picked up this game at GameStop, there should be a code on your receipt that'll automatically download Catwoman as a playable character, free of charge. Sweet. And yeah, I can't deny she's hot as shit. Her fighting moves and everything, I mean, what can beat that? But even though she does fight criminals, she happens to be a criminal herself, so all she's really doing is just double-crossing everybody. Yeah, of course she saves Batman from dying, but that's not till later on in the game. So basically, she's nothing more than a subplot to this game. I mean, Two-Face attempts to kill her, that doesn't work. And she even has the nerve to double-cross Poison Ivy. She bargains with her at first, telling her she's going to get her sacred orchid back out of Hugo Strange's locked vault. Yeah, she really stuck to her word on that. I don't blame Poison Ivy for summoning her henchmen against her, because that, my friend, is what you call a true criminal. And just like Batman, of course, she does have her own selection of weapons. The ballos, which are like a chain of balls, and, well, they can do some pretty heavy damage amongst the thugs, as well as the call drops. You throw them on the ground, causing the thugs to have a very painful fall. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. And instead of gliding to the city, being that she's not Batman, of course, she uses the whip. She can go flying from building to building. But that, I think, is her signature weapon right there. She can not only use it to get on top of the building, no, she can also use it to fight criminals. Sweet. That's right, I said whip it, baby. And speaking of the whip, she can actually walk upside down. Yeah, but only on certain locations. Not every location, but wherever there's a fence. And if you use the Thieves' Vision, yep, of course she has the Thieves' Vision like Batman. Except with his, it's called the Detective Vision. Yep, she uses a thieves' vision, which can track these little blue purplish paws right there. Yeah, see that? That's where you can crawl upside down. Helps a lot, and it's definitely needed for some spots. Especially if you want to get to Hugo Strange's safe. Because there are some parts where you have to sneak and take out some of these thugs or gunmen or whatever. Because let me tell you, it's no easy task. But I think the defining moment is right here, where she's struck between a choice to either go greedy and take the money, or save Batman. She kind of has a little bit of an argument with herself, sort of like a Smeagol-like character. It makes sense that when you just take the money and go, the line that you walk in is red. I guess red means stop. And if you go save Batman, you go on the green line. It's like they say, green means go, red means stop, and turn around. If you follow the red line all the way through, well, you get the end credits. Apparently the Joker's won and Gotham City has gone to hell. You get the end credits. Why? I don't know why. Either way, you have to retry this mission again and help Batman, of course. And you still have to loot the money from the criminals who stole it. So that, I think, should set the tone of the subplot right there with Catwoman. I know I got sidetracked, but I at least wanted to get this out of the way and establish what's coming. So obviously, if you download this, you're forced to play as Catwoman, and you flip-flop back and forth between this character and Batman, of course. And don't worry, I know it seems like it has nothing to do with the main storyline, but it ties in very well. If you play the game, you'll see what I mean. So yeah, you obviously can't switch between Batman and Catwoman until after the end of the game, until you've beaten all of Catwoman's missions. You apparently can switch on the rooftop with, are you ready for this? Cats. I have no comments there. I know I'm jumping the gun a bit, but yeah, I just wanted to get this out of the way. So now that we got that out of the way, time to move on to the main plot of the game. When playing as Batman, or I should say Bruce Wayne, yeah, you're actually Bruce Wayne. You get this weird first-person sort of thing, and apparently Bruce Wayne is getting tortured by Hugo Strange, a crazy wild-eyed scientist who is obsessed and uncovers all the information about Batman, including his personal identity. So, of course, you're not Batman yet. But don't worry, this doesn't last too long. Of course, you go through the entire prison, you're in handcuffs, you're able to still fight in handcuffs, which is a miracle, being that you still have to take out these freaking thugs. Then, of course, you break out of the handcuffs, you climb to the rooftops, and it's funny how people never unveil that you're Batman. They underestimate your fighting skills. You get to the rooftop, you call Alfred to drop off the Batsuit, you get in the Batsuit, and welcome back. Sweet. Now that is what I'm talking about. You're back in business, you're the Cape Crusader, and you're ready to protect Gotham City. Or I should say, Arkham City. Yeah, I was wondering, why do they call it Arkham City? I mean, isn't Arkham Asylum the asylum since all the inmates are there? And yeah, I was always wondering that before this game even came out. Shouldn't they call it Gotham City? But then it just dawned on me, yeah, if you see, all the inmates are running loose amongst Gotham City. So therefore, it takes the name Arkham right there, since they're all from Arkham Asylum. The graphics, just like the last game, are awesome. It is the same dark, gloomy graphics as you remember from the last game, and it takes everything that that game has and multiplies it by an infinity. This time, you're actually in the city. So obviously it has an enormous map screen. But going through the city is just half the fun. I mean, yeah, beating the shit out of thugs and getting to your main mission objective, that's what the game is all about right there. The plot obviously reprises the Joker and Harley Quinn. Wow, I guess the explosive gel to the face wasn't enough to freaking take this son of a bitch down. Jeez, what can take this freaking guy down? Well, a disease that apparently he's dying from. And why should Batman care? Yeah, this is a pretty interesting plot, but seriously, if Joker's dying from a disease, and if Joker is a crazy maniac killer, why should Batman care whether he's dying or not? Joker obviously sends him out to find the cure for this disease that he's apparently suffering from, which obviously I don't blame him for not wanting to do it. But yeah, I forgot to mention, the little shithead poisons him with apparently the same disease that he's suffering from. Crazy maniac, you. leaving Batman obviously no choice but to set out to find the cure. Jeez, why does he just basically die for him? I mean, haven't they forgotten the quote, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain? But obviously Batman's obligated to live and protect the city as much as possible, leaving him no choice but to obviously set out to find the cure, starting with Mr. Freeze. And this starts the whole chain line of villains. Oh my god. I mean, it's like they had a bazillion ideas for villains to choose from in this game, and they just decided, let's use them all. Where does it start? Mr. Freeze, captured by Penguin. You gotta fight the Penguin. Then fight Mr. Freeze. And once again, no one-liner puns. Two-Face, well, that's sort of at the beginning with the whole Catwoman grudge between her robbing the bank vault and such. Ra's al Ghul. In this scene, it actually does a great job establishing Batman's character, being that he's not an assassin, that he's a hero. You know, a protector of Gotham, not a killer. He puts the sword down and just simply refuses to kill Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, pretty smart, right? Because you know he's just gonna come back and make him regret that. And sure enough, he does. When he comes to meet Hugo Strange face to face for the first time as Batman. Even though he knows who you are, climb this really tall tower, and sure enough, yes, he impales him with that very sword. And as you escape the exploding tower, he kills himself. Sorry I'm spoiling this. Yes, I know this review contains major spoilers, so be aware of that. And you meet up with a bunch of other characters. Vicky Vale, for you Tim Burton fans of the first movie. Talia al Ghul. Wow, she's shy as shit. Robin, of course, as I mentioned before. Once again, thank God you don't have to play as him. And as for side missions, yes, you also see Bane, you're obligated to destroy the Titan containers, and he goes apeshit and apparently tries to fight you. No fight there. Didn't really feel cheated, being that you beat the shit out of him in the previous game. You do see Poison Ivy, but only as the Catwoman. As I mentioned before, you got the detective work of tracking down Deadshot. Not too hard, just a little bit of patience required to tracking him down and eventually getting underneath him and taking his ass down. As well as phone tagging with Zaz. Sounds pretty creepy, I must say. Even got the Riddler. Well, sort of, you just see them on the projector screen. But I have heard talk that people were able to track him down in person. Haven't really gotten that far, but it sounds interesting. And look at that, even Jaws makes an appearance. I guess he got tired of being Tony Montana. But this bat actually has balls. Yeah, you can get eaten by him, but look at that. He has the balls to punch him in the face. Yeah. Now that's the Batman we know and love right there. Yeah, punch him in the face. You don't mess with the bat. God, there's so many villains in this freaking game. I mean, what else is there? The Mad Hatter? They actually have the Mad Hatter in this game. And what? Am I seeing this? Batman has rabbit ears? Wow, that has to be the weirdest scene in this game so far, I have to say. If this was a movie, of course it wouldn't work. I mean, you can't put this many villains in one movie. And I'm sure with the next movie coming out next year, The Dark Knight Rises, Christopher Nolan is not going to do that. I mean, with every superhero movie, you can only put one or two, maybe three villains in one movie. It's like taking a medication. You can't take it all in one day. You gotta take one pill a day. Dosage, dosage. It's sort of like that. That's what I call Spider-Man 3 syndrome. Too many subplots, too many villains, too many everything. And I'm sure Christopher Nolan's not going to make that mistake. I mean, so far as I heard, it's Catwoman, Bane, and somebody else. I don't know, I'm getting off track.